Yeah, it is another episode of the Autumn Windbags. RJ Clifford, Juan Soto. Let's have some fun today. First thing is first. 5,000 YouTube subscribers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is a minor milestone, but certainly a newsworthy milestone for us. We kind of got into this. We never even thought about making this YouTube. It's like, let's do a podcast, which is bullshit. And it's like, you know what? Let's really see where we can take this thing. And I can't believe we're at 5,000. It's very humbling. Appreciate every single one of you for letting us windbag around.
Yeah, man. I mean, we would be doing this if there was nobody listening.
Mm-hmm.
So to have 5,000 of you,
that's what we've been doing for the last half decade. Is exactly this, but just the three of us, just you, me, and Rory are the only ones listening. Now there's people actually eavesdropping on our windbagging,
listening, and now everyone knows what a bunch of idiots we are.
Mm-hmm. It was a well-kept secret, or not that well-kept.
Yeah, I don't know how well-kept that was.
But we told you when we get to 5,000, we do something special, and we're going to do it. Next week, we're going to break down every single draft pick and major acquisition of the Gruden-Mayock era.
Oof.
A little self-mutilation, if you will, a little torture. We're going to torture ourselves a little bit, drop our balls and some spikes.
It's like when you pay a chick extra to stomp on your nuts.
Yeah.
With stilettos, like it's flats, it's $10. It's stilettos, it's the opportunity for me to sprain my ankle is a little higher. So
a lifetime of being a Raiders fan, we've learned to enjoy self-mutilation and torture.
Look,
we just love hurting ourselves.
Coach Gruden, if you're listening or watching or both, this is going to prove how great of a coach you actually are, because you gave yourself such a shitty team and you still got that team to be a playoff contender. If you look at it that way.
That's also the self-mutilation. Gruden can just mutilate his roster constantly, and yet just through sheer will and energy, just football guy strength, just big football energy, somehow will this team into being, well, he didn't get to take him to the playoffs because he was gone by then, but it was the team he constructed.
A little racism and misogyny in there, you never know what's going to happen.
Part of the secret sauce, obviously. That was the key to success.
Is that nutmeg? It's a secret.
Yeah. But again, thank you, everybody who subscribed.
Thanks,
we really
guys. Appreciate it.
Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell people
your haters,
about the Autumn Windbags. Because next year we're gonna get to 10,000, and we're gonna I'm gonna build a studio. We're gonna get swag. We're gonna do all kinds of live stuff. We're gonna bring more people on board. It's gonna be a whole network. Eventually.
Did you say livestock?
We're gonna be some livestock on board.
Is that what you said?
I said some live stuff.
Oh,
more live stuff.
I thought you said
live stuff with livestock. Super random thing that I'm super into.
Livestock?
Livestock hoof trimming videos.
Dude, those are great.
I don't know how I got hooked on it, but
I sent you one. Sent you one.
And they're getting infections and random shit will pop out of it.
Yeah.
And learn how to shave it well and set it up and which ground is better for which type of hoof.
And the British, you watch that British dude too, right?
I like the Midwestern dude.
They put him in a little machine, that little hydraulic machine.
The British dude, his videos are too long. He's all about him. I like there's a dude in Wisconsin who's 4-minute videos. You never see his face. He just narrates it. Boom, hoof. What I'm doing, done.
Dude, some of these infections are gnarly as hell, dude.
Yeah, bubbles and pus and stuff.
Oh God,
I don't know why it's so intriguing.
It's so nice. It's anyway. Next level. If you're a pimple popper person, you won't say that 5 times fast. If you like watching these pimple popper videos, watch these hoof videos. It's next level.
They're way less gross, but way more satisfying because it's actually a functional thing for this livestock.
Yeah, when you get a good one, you can almost smell it through the screen. It's rough.
So we'll get to 10,000. We'll do a lot more stuff, but we're halfway there. All thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. Question of the day. We're still reveling in that crazy ending to the Pats game. Raiders now 4-1 after Derek Carr cried. And for the first time ever, we had a 2-touchdown lead at halftime and won the game, despite our best efforts.
Despite our very best efforts.
Despite the best efforts of this squad, we found a way to actually win a game. We were winning by 14. And honestly, this Raiders team did everything they possibly could to lose that game in the second half. But the Pats tried even harder to lose that game. And I feel like when I say when I asked the question of the day, what are we calling the final play of the Pats game? We're going to pin it in the comment section. Let us know. Very curious what you think. There's a lot of good names floating around from a lot of colleagues and fans and listeners and all kinds of people. I feel like what needs to encapsulate that call is less about like the Raiders doing something good. I think it was a good play by Chandler Jones, but it was also a gift. And it was more Jacoby Myers, just the biggest brain fart of the season, and Mac Jones just like getting just crumple, just like eating the nuts of Chandler Jones as he's running into the end zone. I thought he needs to encapsulate the fuckery more than the goodness of it, if that makes sense.
I can't understand for the life of me, and I've watched this play over a few times. What Mac Jones is doing on the ground.
He didn't want to make a tackle.
So he's like, I'm just gonna sit down here and just. He was already on the ground. Just Chandler Jones just had to push his head down.
What was Jacoby Myers thinking? Like, not even just like, even if it was the right play, like, right? Let's say they were down and it was an actual like, all right, we have to just lateral. Like, what's Mac Jones gonna do? There's no one behind Mac Jones. He's not a good runner. It's like, why would you even throw it to him? What's the plan here?
The best case scenario is Mac Jones pulls a hamstring. That's like the best case scenario in that thing. It just pulls a hammy and falls flat on his face.
So Vic Tabor of The Athletic had pitched the phrase lateral damage. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Raider Honcho said Sin City Miracle. I know you hate that one.
I hate that one.
Cassie Soto of Las Vegas Review Journal, I believe that's where she's from, said fear and laddering in Las Vegas.
Lateraling.
Fear and lateraling in Las Vegas.
I like that one.
Clever. Immaculate interception.
It's not an interception.
Not an interception. Our boy VL8962 said, how about the holy moron or the hail moron?
I like the hail moron.
The hail moron.
That was good.
Another listener said, what about the Belichick gift? If it were Christmas, if it were this week too, he'd add a lot of other good ones too.
If it was Christmas Eve, yeah, that would have been a good one.
Something like that. I kind of vote for lateral damage.
I like lateral damage
because it's like it was a lateral, and the damage is you're thinking like, all right, it was just fuckery by the Pats, which is what happened, right? They more hurt themselves than we helped ourselves, right? Like there's certain plays, like every big play requires one side doing something great, another side doing something dumb. This was 80% dumb, 20% great. Like props Chandler Jones, you got it, you ran, but it was mostly Jacoby Myers just being like, I don't know situational football.
Chandler Jones bounced Mac Jones' head off the ground like a basketball, dude. That shit was fucking amazing.
That has to be every defensive lineman's dream.
Just
like, here's the ball and a quarterback right in front of me to do whatever I want to.
Yeah. So the reason why I like lateral damage and fear and lateraling in Las Vegas, because they link to something else that's not related, right? It's like movie titles, right? I like the fear and lateraling in Las Vegas because Las Vegas is right in there. It's like the whole the game was like a trip that Hunter S. Thompson and his lawyer were on. Just cue the fucking White Rabbit music, right?
Yeah.
I like that. I like there's the Sin City Stiff Arm, because like the Sin City Miracle is like the Music City Miracle, you just change a word. That's why I don't like it. It's too close to something else. It's already there. Or else it would be fine if it was by itself. But no, it's the same thing as something else, just change one word. Don't like it. And it's like a crazy football play. If it was like a movie or something like that, fine. But no, that's why fear and lateraling in Las Vegas or lateral damage are my two favorites.
What are we calling the final play of the Pats game? Raider Nation, we need some unison on this.
The hail moron is good too, man.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah. It needs a name, right? Heidi game, holy roller, sea of hands, right? Like they all got like we need to be
tuck rule.
Like it's all gotta be, we gotta decide, right? We gotta be in unison.
Why does it always happen to us?
I don't know, man. Like I said, like the Raiders, they've been a lot of things this season. Boring is not one of them.
Definitely not.
The Raiders have been the most exciting team in football this season. We're either like imploding a lead, something crazy like this, winning in overtime. No nip
Definitely say
tuck
the
games.
most active.
Yeah. All right, what are we calling the final play of the Pats game? Let us know. Comment section, pinned. Curious. All right, well, we're recording this Wednesday night, and just like an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, the Pro Bowl have been announced. All Pro Bowlers have been announced, AFC, NFC. With the Raiders, there was almost no like tweener guys we were kind of hoping for, right? There's no like, oh man, this guy really deserves it. Like, oh man, this guy's right on the cusp. Let's see if he can break out. Really none of that. We knew who was going to the Pro Bowl for us.
Pretty much.
Davante Adams, Josh Jacobs, Maxx Crosby. Nip, tuck, no problem. Easy peasy. None of them, however, first team.
Interesting.
They had Bradley Chubb over Josh Jacobs.
Nick Chubb, you mean?
Or Nick Chubb. Yeah.
You know, when there's like when things are so close, I think a lot of times what they do is they just look after a team that's doing better or a name. You know, Nick Chubb's name has been out there a little bit longer as far as one of the top rushers in the league. And this is the only fucking list that matters. Okay. This one that comes out. First team, second team, that's it. Okay. I don't want to hear about, oh, well, fucking these 7 guys from the Raiders made the Pro Bowl. Like, no, dude. These 3 names count, and that's it. I hate this stupid shit because people want to say, oh, this guy's a 5-time Pro Bowler. Like, yeah, because like the first 6 guys in his positions didn't want to go. That's why he's a fucking Pro Bowler. Like, no, this first
we're gonna see less of that.
It.
There's gonna be a lot less of that now because the Pro Bowl game isn't a Pro Bowl game anymore, right? It's like a bunch of skills competitions and then a flag football game. So it's gonna be less of that.
That bugs me so much when people say that shit. Oh, he's a fucking Pro Bowler. Dude, I was almost a Pro Bowler.
I mean, it's real though. Like they got their money, and like with the contracts,
it's not real. It's not.
It is real because they get their money and contracts and so many contracts with incentives.
If you're talking about a player's worth as far as how he was in comparison to the rest of the league, it's not real.
Because Carr is a 3-time Pro Bowler under those terms. And you're like, all right, I can't have that.
Well, so was Hunter Renfrow last year, and he was like a 5th, 6th alternate. Like, dude, he's not a Pro Bowler, dude.
Guys you hate, you'll change the language to make sure that they're hated.
Oh, God. I didn't bring up any names, dude. You don't want to brought up names.
With this is my thing, my analysis of these 3 players, and then we'll get to AJ Cole and Daniel Carlson here in a second. I feel bad for Maxx Crosby for the type of season he's having. He should be in defensive player of the year discussions, but he's not because the defense is so shitty.
Yeah, I think
you know what I'm saying?
Terrible.
It's like it's just the defense is like, you know how it always goes to defensive player of the year. It's like the best player on the best defense, right? That's kind of like how they do it. It's like easy to do it that way. It's like, oh, he's the leader of this great defense. We'll give him defensive player of the year. That's doesn't look like that's ever going to happen in Maxx Crosby's career, despite the fact that leads the league in tackles for loss. He's one of the most complete defensive players in football. Like he gets the sacks, he gets the pressures, he gets the tackles, he stops the run.
Tackles for
Patrick
loss,
Graham put him in coverage a couple times, which is stupid, but he can do that too if you need to, right? Like he is like there's specialists, right? There's guys that just get a bunch of sacks, or those guys that are good run stuffers, or you know, like linebackers are good coverage guys, or you know, Trayvon Diggs, like he gives up so many deep passes, but he gets so many interceptions, right? Maxx Crosby just complete across the board, an 8.5 or better at every single thing you can ask a defensive end to be.
For sure. He's across the board. He's a complete player.
So notably missing from that selection, the only ones where it could have been kind of like, okay, maybe I can see these guys getting in, punter AJ Cole and kicker Daniel Carlson. We've said before, there's only 3 players on this team I would not let go for anybody. Daniel Carlson's one of them. And I understand why they had Justin Tucker represent the AFC over Daniel Carlson. I get it. Justin Tucker's one of the greatest kickers of all time. He's got more.
Carlson's missed some kicks this year too.
Carlson missed a couple. I mean, he missed what, a 59? He missed like a crazy one.
He missed
what has he missed?
He missed
like a high 40s and a couple of 50s, right? That's it.
Something like that.
Something like that. Like nothing crazy. Like,
if he would have had his shit intact, his little streak intact, he would have for sure been in.
I don't know. People love Justin Tucker. I mean, people I think the NFL in general just unanimously says Justin Tucker is the best kicker in football, and they just kind of agreed on it. Despite even if Daniel Carlson puts up better numbers in a specific season, I don't think anyone's gonna. I think just everyone's just decided Justin Tucker is the best, and it's like being the champ, like a UFC champ. Like he's gonna have that title until he loses it. There's not gonna be someone that's gonna. Like he has to lose it as opposed to someone else winning it. Like Tucker has to have like a bad season, and then they can say, "Oh yeah, Carlson, maybe he's the best guy." Like if Tucker just kind of stays being Tucker, there's nothing anyone else can do that I think unanimously the NFL fandom will say like, "Oh no, Justin Tucker, he's been usurped by somebody else."
Yeah, he definitely has to slip and fall for someone else to like jump over him in the fans' eyes.
This one kind of bugs me though. Tommy Townsend. KC got in as punter over AJ Cole. I don't like that one. AJ Cole had to do a lot more punting this year than Townsend did. And their numbers are pretty similar.
Whose numbers are better?
So Townsend's average is a little higher. AJ Cole is way better in getting inside the 20 though.
Yeah, didn't Cole went last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, just if they're that close, Cole went last year. If they were close last year, I can see where they just go back and forth. Like, don't really get
a little another rivalry in the AFC West.
They don't fucking punt anyway.
Rivalry.
They don't punt anyway.
Yeah. AJ Cole averaged 49.5 a punt. Townsend, 51.8. Townsend had 38 punts. Cole had 50. Townsend got 15 inside the 20. AJ Cole got 23 inside the 20. Townsend has a longer long, 76. AJ's was 67. AJ Cole only one touchback all season long.
That's big.
Townsend had 4.
Only one in about 50% more.
So Townsend boots it a little further, but Cole is so much better at getting it inside the 10, inside the 5, being accurate, not doing touchbacks. So like with Townsend, you'll get like an extra 3-4 yards, or in this case, was it 51.8 and 49? So like you'll get 2 extra yards with Townsend. But with Cole, you're almost guaranteed for it not to be a touchback and be inside the 20. Give me Cole every time.
Yeah, it's got more control.
Right?
It's like a contact hitter with a little power, or a power hitter that has a little bit of contact.
So according to our buddy Adam Hill, both AJ Cole and Daniel Carlson have been selected as, quote, high Pro Bowl alternates per source.
Are
you not going to count them because they'd be alternates?
No, the alternates don't count.
You like how it says
it's not about fuck them. It's not fuck them. It's like no, it's like you're Pro Bowlers and you only made it because someone else didn't want to go. That's the only reason you made it. I'm not shitting on the people, but you're not really a Pro Bowler.
You like how it won't let me log into Twitter because my Twitter got hacked today?
Oh, so sweet.
So if you're getting weird messages from me on Twitter, don't answer them. Don't click links. Don't open messages. I've been hacked. So yeah, that's basically it. I mean, the Pro Bowl, I don't gnash teeth or like flip out. There's no pitchforks and torches for the Pro Bowl. The only thing that really truly matters is when these guys start doing negotiations, like when Josh Jacobs went to the Pro Bowl. Now all of a sudden his rookie deal is way more expensive, right? Things like that are what matter the most. But it's nice to see these guys get attention. Although we all knew Josh Jacobs, Davante Adams, and Maxx Crosby were getting that love. So Life is different in Las Vegas for the Raiders.
A little bit.
Much different than it was in Los Angeles. Much different than it was in Oakland. Las Vegas, brand new stadium, glitz and glamour, most expensive ticket in football. This isn't the days we remember, Soto, at the Coliseum. I was a little kid. You were young. You were really young too, where it was just like brutal. Not like it was in Oakland when you're getting off the BART and going through that concrete barrier like you're walking to Mos Eisley with the barbed wire and the graffiti everywhere, broken bottles everywhere, fights everywhere, toilet shooting shit out because the plumbing's all busted up.
I reached down and grabbed a chunk of fucking concrete from the ground. Like,
did you keep it?
Nah, I was like,
yeah.
May or may not have some piss on it afterwards. I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep that.
So there's a video of a Raider fan at the game harassing.
All up in his shit. Look at the twos. The twos getting in there.
He's just standing there taking it. This lady is flipping out. Boyfriend's trying to get her back. Okay, like he's happy, right? Because this is right after the play. Everyone's stoked, right? This is right after the lateral damage, whatever we're calling it. Now they're hugging each other. Now they're excited. And this dude, I mean, props to him. I give this guy props. He just stood there and took it from this crazy broad. Now she's not like touching him, but now she's like waving shit in front of him, losing her mind.
That's a little excessive.
Why are all the good ones taken, Soto? Why are the good ones taken? Why couldn't she be single? Look at that. Look at that classy broad. Look at that. Just marriage material right there. Everything you want.
Oh God.
Things are a little different now.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't really see that. You don't really see that shit in Vegas anymore at Raider games. That used to be the staple.
Dude, you had to, if you were like an opposing, like rooting for the opposing team, you had to leave like in the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Mm.
And the cops will tell you how to get out fast.
Yeah.
They'll be like, all right, because the quarterback of my football team in high school, he was a big Broncos fan. He loved John Elway.
Mm.
And he wore this fucking bright orange bomber jacket, but like one of the trench coat ones, like down to like his calves. It was fucking huge and orange, and you could not stand away. And we're like, oh my God, this fucking guy. Some big, just a
giant neon sign that says "Throw beer at my head,"
and we're just like, oh man. He's like, I don't go fuck. He was like some fucking wrestler and shit, and like those wrestlers always seem to the cock of the walk. And he's just daring people to fight him and shit. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. You're not out wrestling three dudes with fucking beer bottles in their hands. Because like at that time, they served you a fucking bottle of beer. Like, here you go.
Yeah. Here's a weapon to go with your inebriation.
Yeah, that's when they still sold. Do they sell alcohol in the games now? Not in LA for a while.
At Allegiant Stadium? Absolutely.
No, I haven't been to Allegiant Stadium.
So this tweet of that video went viral. It got over 10,000 retweets. Like the guy who was like the guy that was getting harassed, like he responded to the tweet.
His name is Jerry. That was his first game.
Very first Pats game, and he got treated to one. Our president, Sandra Douglass Morgan, tweeted on the thread, on behalf of the Raiders, we appreciate the way you conducted yourself. No fan should have to endure that type of behavior. We will be in touch. Now, President Morgan, first year in the job. So far, so good, right? She hasn't done anything any majorly good or majorly bad, or just being president of an NFL team, kind of things, keeping things cruising. But if I see this motherfucker in box suites next week, I'm going to lose it.
We're going to have a problem.
This is a Patriots fan. He wasn't punched. He didn't have beer thrown on him. He wasn't assaulted. He just had someone next to him yelling at him at an NFL football game. An opposing a team, a player, a fan from the opposing team wearing the jersey was yelled at. Not good, not fun. The chick's got some problems, but he was yelled at an NFL game where people get stabbed, people get beat up, people get food thrown on them, fights happen in every stand, at every stadium, and every game on God's green earth. If I see this dude in box suites with Mark Davis, I'm going to lose my shit.
So look, I'm like, I think 15 years old. I'm at Raiders, or Seahawks at Raiders, right? And I have a hot dog, and we score a touchdown, and I'm like, whoa! And I jump up, and the fucking hot dog flies out of the bun of my hot dog and lands on the chick in front of me. Like right in her fucking hair, the whole Aquanet hair. You know what I'm talking about? The big fucking chola curly hair. Her man was pissed. I said, bro, my bad, man. I got excited. And he fucking grabbed me by my shirt and he pinched my fucking nipple so hard, like on accident. He just would grab my shirt.
I think that hot dog turned him on.
He's I know. I almost lost
little boy.
A nipple at a Raider game, and I got nothing. Not even a hot dog. But not even my hot dog.
You lost your hot dog and almost lost a nipple.
I almost lost a nipple. If this dude gets yelled at, you know how many times I've been yelled at in San Diego or in fucking San Francisco, or where else have I been?
Dude, I got yelled at Giants and at Titans, like not even rivals. I got harassed. That's what you do. That's what happens. That's what you're supposed to do. Man. You're supposed to make the opposing people, everyone that's not there for you, needs to feel uncomfortable. That's what you're supposed to do.
I was at a Dodgers Giants game in San Francisco, and I feared for my life. That was the most scared I've ever been. And because, dude, these Giants fans, they were like stomping each other. These big Samoan dudes were stomping each other out. And I'm like, God damn, that's all I need is just from them to look up and see me. And I was like, fuck. So we just fucking hightailed it out of there, man. It's if you go to a fucking game, right? If you go to a game and your team fucking loses in spectacular fashion, all right? You know what you do?
The bed.
You know what you do? You do exactly what fucking Jerry did. That's exactly what you do. You sit there with your hands in your pockets and you shake your head and you wait for whoever's yelling at you to get pulled away, and then you walk away. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. I'm not saying, look, fucking COVID coming up. I'm not saying, I got to tell you something about this fucking COVID test. These COVID tests are disrespectful as hell. Okay. I took a COVID test yesterday, and that line was so fucking dark. That shit was like that fucking T line, that fucking what it tells you if you got, because everyone gets the C line, right? The T line was fucking like violet. It was
pops
so
up in like 12 seconds.
Oh
like, wait, 10 to 15 minutes. It's like,
fuck,
right away.
Like right there. I'm like, motherfucker. It was like, shit was like Wesley Snipes, Charlie Murphy dark.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was darker than those fucking skid marks on your underwear.
They're like, oh, you definitely have COVID.
I'm
you
like,
have all the variations.
Yeah, that shit was like, I'm like, you could tell me I have COVID without fucking just like taunting me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
that test was like that chick taunting the Pats player.
Exactly.
Like, you got COVID. And Look, all I'm saying is this: no harm, no foul. This isn't any incident that's a big deal. This is what Sandra Douglass Morgan should do. This is what President Morgan should do. Bring him on to a press conference, fly him in, invite him at the podium. Press is there. The dude walks up. President Morgan walks over, and she's going to go, hey, on behalf of the entire Raiders organization, what happened there was unacceptable. I have this gift for you. She goes into her pocket and goes, fuck you! You don't get shit! You don't get shit! You got yelled at a football game. Cry me a river. You don't get nothing. If I see this guy get one single thing from the Raiders,
I get so pissed.
We riot. This guy deserves nothing. Nothing. Zero.
Look, man.
Raider game.
I'm not saying that if you cheer for your team, you should get your ass kicked. I'm not saying that. Mm-hmm. What I am saying is you have to recognize where you are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And if you're at a Pats at Raiders game and I'm not saying it was being obnoxious or anything, right? Because I'm saying he did the right thing. I want to say that up front. If he would have done a bunch of shit and started being obnoxious and all that stuff, and he got his ass beat, ask Adam Hill what happened to him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Adam Hill's a stand-up dude, right? I would buy a beer for Adam Hill. Mm-hmm. Multiple. Setup, shot in a beer. But because he took his ass beaten like a man. Like, you know what? I'm talking shit at fucking Raiders Stadium, and I got my ass beat.
Yeah,
because I was talking shit. Like, why do that? So that's how you're supposed to act. When I like how I acted at the fucking whatever they call that piece of shit in San Francisco, what I call at that park, how I acted, fucking grab my chick, let's get the fuck out of here. That's how you act. You put your head down, you walk away. If you start talking shit because you think you're fucking badass, because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's people that you could talk shit to, and then there's people that you can't talk shit to. And the problem is, a lot of times you find out you shouldn't talk shit to them when you wake up.
I know what President Morgan's doing here. They have the highest ticket price in the NFL, and they want opposing fans there because that's what's driving up ticket prices and selling out Allegiant Stadium and making Mark Davis rich on the back of a losing team. I get what she's doing. She wants it to be a welcoming environment, and she's going to be like, oh, I'm going to make sure that this is we let everyone know how unacceptable this is. This is a trending tweet. Got 10,000 retweets. I got to put my face on this. But really, this is exactly what should happen. I want opposing fans to fear for their safety at Raider games. I don't want them going to Raider games. I don't want them anywhere near Allegiant Stadium. And if we can get enough people not crossing the line, because this woman didn't cross the line. She made no contact, right? There's no physical contact from the video that we saw. She was super annoying and it sucked. But she didn't cross the line. That's what I want at Raider games. I want opposing fans to want to be there. I like what happened. I'm glad it happened the way that it happened.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with somebody cheering for their team to win and telling a person he's a piece of shit for his team throwing away a game. I don't have a problem with it. That's sports. If you have a problem with that, stop watching sports.
So speaking of classy Raiders, Damon Arnette's back in the news.
Jeez.
So we know what happened with him. Multiple arrests, multiple issues.
An idiot.
Finally got cut because he released that video threatening to shoot somebody on social media. Got cut, right? Jumped around. Now he's a free agent. When he was in Miami, he got rolled. The cop camera footage was finally released.
It's fucking hilarious.
And these cops gave this guy every possible opportunity.
Dude, when I read what happened on the show, I was like fucking stupefied. The same fucking cops that pulled him over like 2 hours earlier and let him go, pulled him over again. After they told him, look, we know you don't have a license. We know this is super illegal letting you go. Just go home. Yeah. And
he wouldn't do it.
Oh, God, dude.
Not only would he not go home, he got more drugs. Then went back into.
And then he tried to toss it to his chick. He tried to toss the fucking drugs, like the fucking dollar bill and the fucking shit to. Oh my God, bro!
You can hear these cops like yelling at this dude. They're yelling, "You're a fucking idiot, bro! You had the chance to go home. You fucked up. You know it's really sad, man. We really try and give people chances. You just pissed me off, man. You think we're stupid. You think we don't know what's up.
We understand. It's South Beach. We get it.
It's Miami fucking Beach, bro. You think that we don't know that shit? That we're stupid? That we're born yesterday?" And he did like these cops.
That's what pissed them off the most.
Every opportunity. You're like, dude, just like you have a suspended license. Like, just knock it off. Just stop. Just go home.
You think they gave a shit about suspended license? You think they gave a shit about that little fucking puff of coke he had on him? They didn't give two shits about that. He could have had a fucking bazooka in the back seat. They wouldn't have given a shit about that either. They got more things to worry about, right? It's just the fact that he's spit in their face, and that they're not gonna recognize his ass with his red fucking dreads.
Yeah.
Ah, what an idiot. What a fucking idiot. You know what? Bad shit happens to stupid people sometimes, and there it is.
It's one of those guys like that's like it's like, all right, you know, jails are full. They have way too many laws. Like I can be kind of libertarian when it comes to criminality. You know what I mean? Like there's way too many people in jail for stupid shit. This is one of the dude that probably needs to be in jail. Like he's gonna hurt somebody. Like he's gonna like Henry Ruggs. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna do something really fucking stupid. Because you can't be that dumb and not have something bad happen to you or someone around you.
Do yourselves a favor, guys. Watch this video with the volume turned up multiple times. It gets funnier every single time you watch it. Like, come on, guy. Come on, man. Like, you don't think we know what's going on here? It's South Beach. Like, we know what's going on. They're even being cool with him in the ride back.
Of all the shit going down in South Beach, right? Like, these cops have seen everything. They don't want to deal with this stuff. They're begging him to stop and just go home. We don't want to deal with it. Like,
I don't want to deal with the stupid
we don't
shit.
want your homework. Like, we have real crimes to worry about, but you have forced us to put you in cuffs.
All that fucking 3-4 hours of work doing nothing, just being bored instead of walking around and looking at titty and shit.
What would you say is the biggest surprise this season for the Raiders? Which player is most surprising for you this season?
Positive or negative?
Either. Biggest surprise.
I would say Josh Jacobs. Just because, I mean, I knew he was good. I didn't know he was like lead the league in rushing good. Especially with this type of line. Now look, let's not shit on this offensive line too hard. They had 2 backup guys from scrap heap guards for the majority of the game last week against good defensive front. I didn't really notice too much. I don't know if you did. I didn't. Maybe running wise a little bit towards the second half.
Yeah.
But I mean, Coach Carmen's got him playing really well. But I didn't think he was going to be this good. I knew what he called. I knew fucking Davante Adams was the fucking man, right? I kind of foresaw a bit of a step back with the quarterback because of the new system and stuff like that. Defensively, we hadn't seen too much of Hobbs to kind of get a good feel on him. I knew Max was who he was. I think Perryman's come on as of late. But yeah, I'm most surprised by Josh Jacobs and how well he's playing.
So is ESPN. When they did their power rankings, they named each surprise this season, and Josh Jacobs was one of them. Paul Gutierrez, the ESPN Raiders guy, said Jacobs has been more than a pleasant surprise after not having his 5th-year option picked up by the Raiders' new regime. He's been the team's MVP. After GM Dave Ziegler and coach Josh McDaniels built a running back by committee approach, Jacobs surprised McDaniels and has more than proven his worth as RB1. His career high 1,495 rushing yards. Leads the
NFL. A lot of fucking yards, bro.
And his 86-yard walk-off scamper in Seattle is the league's longest run of the season, still to this day. Jacobs, who also has 11 touchdowns and 46 catches for 363 yards, is about to get paid by somebody, whether us or someone else.
Dude, we've only played 14 games. Like 1,500 yards in a 16-game season is good. We only played
2022. In 2020, that's good in 1978. This is in 2022. That's awesome.
There's very few bell cow backs in the NFL, and God damn it, if I wasn't wrong about this. At no time, there was like not even then, because Kevin White had a lot of play too. It was always a running back guy by committee with the Patriots.
Yep.
And even now with Ramondre Stevenson, they're like Damian Harris. They have a bunch of guys that they play. Of course, Stevenson gets the bulk of the carries, but other guys get good amount of. Dude, Zamir White gets like 1 carry a game. That's it.
Nothing. Yeah,
he gets 1 carry a game. Abdullah gets maybe a target or 2 a game, maybe. He doesn't get anything else besides return action. It's all fucking Josh Jacobs. And I will sit back when I am fucking wrong. I was wrong about Josh McDaniels, about his system. He is employing a bell cow system, and it's working out. And I will shut my fucking mouth.
On week 1, they had 6 running backs on the roster. 6 active running back. If you count the Jacobson, count the fullback. 6. That is a bell cow roster, right? Like that, or that's a running back by committee roster.
Committee roster,
right?
Yeah.
Like that's what we all thought, right? And I think that's what Josh McDaniels planned to do. But then Jacobs is just like, oh, not picking up my 5th-year option? Look at this Superman cape. I'm just gonna go nuts. Now, some things aren't that surprising. Like the bread and butter of who Josh Jacobs is, it's still what he's doing this year, right? Like yards after contact. That's always been what he's been so good at, right? it's, on paper, it's a 3-yard run. He makes it a 6. He's been doing that his entire career, right? That's not that surprising. His blocking has steadily improved in the backfield. And that trajectory hasn't changed. His route running and catching has steadily improved. So that amazing one-handed catch he made 3 weeks ago, the fact that he's getting he's more involved in the passing game, it's proportion to the direction he's been going. He's been trending in that way.
Everything helps, right?
All those things, not that surprising. What's surprising, dare I say, shocking,
dare you,
is his durability. I don't think he's missed a play because of injury, let alone a game.
He came out one play because of his finger, and he went right back in the game.
He
came out right because of his back or something like that. One play, and then he came. Oh, it's a rib or something by his back. He came right back in. Yeah.
He's not in the blue tent, not going to the locker room, not missing games. None of that shit. Right? He's barely on the injury reports.
I mean, he's only missed a couple of games his career. He hasn't missed games. The thing is, he gets dinged up and misses portions of games.
He misses chunks of. It's multiple. He misses multiple games this season for multiple reasons. That's the thing. He'll miss like a game and a half, week 3 and 4. He'll miss 2 games, week 12 and 13. You know what I mean? He's just like always getting banged up, right? So the durability, that's what's surprising. The breakaway run ability. Remember, that's always my biggest beef with Josh Jacobs. It's like, we love Josh Jacobs. It was just $12 million for a running back. It's like, come on, this team needs so much help so many other places. But the things that we want, my biggest beef was, it was like, look, I'd like to have a running back where a home run possibility is an option, right? Where it's kind of always there, right? And he never had it until this year.
You got it now.
Doing these scamperings all over the place. And now he has success no matter what the scheme is. He was a zone run guy for a long time. And then because of this brand new young O-line, McDaniel's kind of going more power just because it's simpler, right? Like instead of like being one unit in a zone blocking, it's like, hey, just fucking kill that
let's
guy,
not downplay Jakob Johnson and his fucking blocking.
Yeah.
Because that guy's a fucking stud.
He's a
bulldozer.
He's a handle. So that's what's shocking. Not that he's playing well. It's how he's playing well. The durability, breakaway ability, and whether it's a zone or power scheme, he doesn't miss a beat. That's what's crazy. Not the yards after contact, not the blocking, not the pass catching. Like, we knew he could do that. We knew he was good. Durability, breakaway ability, and he's not scheme dependent by any means. That's what's surprising this season. What's wonderfully, orgasmically, happily surprising about Josh Jacobs.
One thing that was said during the game against the Pats that I was noticing too in previous games is in the first part of the game, McDaniels will run a bunch of different types of runs, and whatever keeps working, he'll just keep running those types of runs. Mm-hmm. If it's an outside zone or inside zone, or it's a power play going to an outside, like a counter type play, if it's a kick out type of gut type of trap play, whatever's working against the front, he'll just, towards the end of the game, he'll just keep calling those runs. Which, it seems ultra simplistic, but it all depends on the formation. It also depends on the execution. Also, it also depends on how you can disguise the play using Jacobs himself. Mm-hmm. That's why his pass catching out of the backfield is huge, because you can't key in on certain plays. Oh yeah, they've been running these run plays exclusively, so we got to watch out for this. And then you get a little outside swing pass or something like that to Jacobs, get him in space where he rips off big yardage. So I see something come together. It's smart. It's hard to defense when the team is all on the same page. But yeah, man, you have to have the horse to do it, and he definitely is that horse.
So Christmas Eve, I believe it's Christmas week already.
Jeez.
Christmas Eve, Raiders, Steelers, prime time, night game in Pittsburgh. It's our one really huge road trip this season. Brutal, right? Winter game, East Coast, rough road trip. Steelers -3. 50-year anniversary of the Immaculate Reception, and of course, it'll be just days after Franco Harris passed away. A lot
I'm still salty about that fucking draft bullshit. Like, it's fucking our pick.
Yeah.
Right? It's our pick, and they want to beef up the immaculate reception, and they bring the guy from the opposing team to talk before our pick.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Look, all respect to Franco Harris, rest in peace, my man. I'm salty about.
That's not a Franco beef. It's an NFL.
It's an NFL
draft
beef.
Organizer
Nothing against
beef.
Franco. Franco got his money. Do your thing, Franco. I'm not going to count anyone else's money, but goddamn.
So they're going to make a lot about this game, and we're going to see a lot of montages. We're going to see a lot of historical shit. Franco Harris's family is going to make an appearance. We're going to hear all this Franco Harris stuff. I made peace with it, right? It's going to be very Steeler heavy. Let's put it that way, right? So the Raiders are going to have to.
I'm fine with it. Franco Harris is passed. He did a lot for the NFL.
Yeah, but I don't want to remember the bullshit immaculate reception every 7 minutes.
I've been to
every
the
Pittsburgh.
Have you been to the Pittsburgh airport? You know what the bullshit about the Pittsburgh airport is? They have that fucking statue right there, and he's in the statue. He's barely hunched over, catching the ball. He's barely bending over catching the ball. If you watch the video, he's bent all the way down to the fucking ground catching the ball. Yeah,
because he's picking it up off the ground because it was an incomplete pass.
Oh, motherfucker.
Whatever. Anyway.
He's catching in his fucking dick area. Like, oh, I caught it right here.
Raiders now on a 4-1 run in the last 5. 4-1 since Derek Carr cried. Let's see if that can continue. Winnable game for the Raiders, I guess. I mean, Steelers defense, they allow 4.2 yards per carry. It could be a big Jacobs day. It could not be, depending on what they scheme. Now with Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow back, let's see how opposing defensive coordinators handle it now. It's like, all right, what do we can't just bracket Davante and load up the box for Jacobs. Like, they got other players now. Quarterbacks average a 90.4 rating. That's 13th. But, quarterbacks, they have average defense for quarterbacks passing, but 61.3% completion. That's 4th in the NFL. So the defense is really good at keeping offenses from doing that. However, it's the big plays that they suffer. They allow 12.5 yards per carry. That's tied for last. They've allowed 25 passing touchdowns.
Right? Yards per catch, right?
Or yards per catch, excuse me.
Okay.
25 touchdowns they've allowed passing. That's 29th. And they've given up 25 sacks. It's 29th. We can pass on this team. We can get some big plays. And that's kind of been the Raiders passing game a little bit, right? Inconsistent, not high completion rate, but we'll crank out some big ones. Like, it's you can pretty consistently get some big plays, and this is a Steelers defense that gives up big plays.
They give up big plays. Here's kind of like the balance of all this. We don't know what kind of weather we're going to be seeing in Pittsburgh on that day. Mm-hmm. We have a quarterback that's not used to throwing in that kind of weather. He also is one of the worst on-target percentage passers in the league this year. I don't know. It can go either way. Because if this team's like, all right, cool, we're going to take Davante out of the game, which is what New England did, make you if we're like, yeah, we'll let Keelan Cole beat us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Pittsburgh will be okay with that. Right? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as easy as that. I think we may have some rough sledding in store. I still think
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's our offense, our passing offense is boom or bust, and the Steelers defense passing wise is boom or bust. So that's what I'm saying. I think it'll be one of those like low completion percentage for Carr, but like a 3 touchdown game, because they're gonna. That's what they just give up. They just give up touchdowns.
They do. I honestly think that. I mean, knowing what I know of McDaniels and how he's running his system, we're still going to see a lot of running.
It'll be balanced. It'll be balanced.
Yeah,
it should be. Well, I think like last week when Carr threw the ball 38 or 39 times, we're like, why did he throw so much? Well, one, it was the penalties, right?
The penalties put us back a lot in the early downs. In the early downs, yes, because they were.
But also because we lost a couple, Parnham and a couple linemen. I don't think they can run the ball as well as they wanted to either. I think they were kind of like, all right, we're not moving the ball the way that we want to because of these injuries. The good news is we should get these linemen back. Alex Bars, Jackson Barton, Dylan Parham all practiced. Super White too. Everybody practiced this week. So we should get that optimal line that we like.
Hooray,
right?
Alex Bars is back.
Yay, wonderful. But still, like I think that was the optimal line, right? It was.
That's the one that was playing the best.
The one that was playing
together,
the best, right? Currently, what we have right now, right? We agreed, right? The best line that five guys, Colton, Andre, Parham, Bars, Illuminor. Those are right now
those are the five that were playing the best.
Five playing the best. It's our best option, right? So let's get them back out there. For the Steelers, they got some skill players that didn't participate in practice. We're recording this Wednesday night. Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris didn't practice today.
Interesting.
We'll see. For the Steelers offense, our defense, it looks like Kenny Pickett's back. If Najee Harris does play, he could be an issue. Our run D was trash against the Pats. Remember, that was what we were looking forward to. Like the defensive front was looking pretty good, but against some bad O lines for a few weeks. It's like, all right, how can they do against the Pats? Not well.
Not good.
And the Raiders passing defense, even though we played Mac Jones and we finally shut down a quarterback, we didn't shut him down so well that we're still not last at most things. We still are giving up 100 rating. That's last. And we still only have 4 interceptions. That's tied for 30th. So Kenny Pickett's definitely a quarterback that could eat up this defense. We've been eaten up by far worse quarterbacks than Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing too bad lately. Is it going to be Kenny Pickett? Because last week it was still your boy, Mitchie baby.
All reports are saying that Pickett should be back. He's still listed as questionable, but he was a full participant in practice. So
look, man, if Kenny Pickett plays against our defense, this is like everyone's coming out party has been against our defense. Davis Mills, fucking the carcass of fucking Matt Ryan, like all these dudes have their fucking game of their fucking year against us.
If we don't get pressure, which we normally don't, any quarterback in the NFL can eat us apart in these DBs. So we'll see.
Terrible.
Got hope for pressure. If you want some hope, there's one guarantee. There's one thing you can look at to say, all right, Raiders are guaranteed to win. These guys right here. NFL game picks. All 10 analysts all picked Steelers. Every one of them. Look at some of these. Yeah. Now, there's clearly typos because they did a graphic thing. They're all the same. So I'm wondering if they all picked them or if this was just a graphical error. Because see how they're all saying 30, 13, 7, 32, all that kind of shit.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if they all still did pick the Steelers, though.
Oh, no, that's weird.
Very weird, right? Get your shit together, graphics department, the NFL.
What the hell, NFL? Jesus, like you don't have enough money behind you.
Ready to do some what up Windbags?
Sure, why not?
Bobby Gallardo. Not much different than the last 4 games last year. We got outplayed in those games and somehow won anyway. Did we get outplayed? I didn't feel like we got outplayed in those 4 games. They felt like just 4 close, very Raiders last season games. We were less talented than the other teams. That's for sure. Did it feel like we got outplayed and like stumbled into wins?
Yeah. Because I couldn't really put my finger on how we won those games.
Mm.
You know, it was just like a late mistake. We tried really hard to lose the game against the Pats. The Patriots just did a better job of trying to lose.
They just had Mac Jones.
They just did something that, like, they did that, like a kiss of death thing. You know, give them the ball at the end of the game and have them score. We did a bunch of little things.
It took the biggest blunder of the season.
Oh, for sure.
To put the game away. The biggest blunder of the season. But again, that feels like something the Raiders would do. Right? 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm not apologizing for it. Fuck it.
No. Hell no. You never apologize for a win.
Not for a dub.
Edgar Bonilla. You're right.
Oh, my God. Bonilla.
Bonilla.
Oh, my God.
Bonilla wafer. You're right. Can't celebrate with a win like that. I expected a very disciplined team all year. Bad coaching and poor execution by offense. Sorry about USC, Juan. Fight on, bro. I swear I didn't pick that one because of the SC thing.
Yeah, right.
I promise. But again, you can't celebrate with a win like that. Abso-fucking-lutely you can. There were some great things that happened in that game. You have Cole catching game winners. You get Darren Waller back, wide open with a big touchdown. Jacobs almost with 100 yards. Maxx Crosby running wild. Absolutely. And again,
Chandler Jones making an appearance.
Chandler Jones getting fumble recovery, interception / fumble recoveries for touchdowns. Curb stomping quarterbacks. Look, I said it during the post show last week, and it rings true. We get so wrapped up with our team. We look at the Raiders and all the mistakes they make and the errors that we make and poor executions and poor game planning and throws and all this kind of shit, right? We forget how undisciplined and bad NFL football really is because guys can't practice. Or pads once a week, walkthroughs. Other teams are really sloppy too. Now, not saying the Raiders aren't extra sloppy. We don't need to work on it. I'm just saying other NFL teams, all other 31 NFL teams have massive screw jobs constantly. So don't make it look like, oh, well, the Raiders screwed up 3 or 4 times. You don't deserve to win. Every NFL team screws up every single game multiple times. It's keeping those as little as possible and expounding on your opponent's errors.
Well, yeah, it's like the opposing team gets paid too. The opposing team has coaches that game plan against you too. It's like you're not running this play against X's and O's. You're running these plays against Harry and Joe.
I farted right when you said that. That's how bad it was. Even my butthole was like, all right, that stinks worse than me.
Your butthole does not fart anymore. It's just the air just comes out.
It does. I had Chipotle for lunch.
Oh, God. Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
No, but like that's the thing is, yeah, you can run a play be perfect. And if the defense is set up right or a player makes an individual effort to screw the play up, shit happens, you know?
Oakland fan, it's the win now mode NFL franchises get caught up in. It takes a great coaching and personnel department to win a marathon, not just a sprint. When I think about a franchise winning a sprint, it's the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now look at them. Raider Nation for life. F. Waller.
Jesus.
I don't think that was necessary.
That was a little aggressive.
Look. We're all in agreement. Maybe you guys aren't, but Soto and I are and have been. That no matter what happened this season, you got to give Josh McDaniels some time. He's certainly been disappointing. He hasn't earned a lot, but there's no effing way you can go, all right, you get 1 year and you're gone with as complicated as the system is and that kind of stuff. Now, I'm less forgiving than you, Juan, because he was handed so much compared to other coaches that start brand new, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, brand new coaches, brand new coaching staffs don't get 10-win teams. It just doesn't happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he made the team work. Like the team's been worse this season than last season, which is unforgivable. But there's still a process, right? I don't want to use the phrase trust the process because that's going to stay in New England. But it's a system that takes a while. It's a Patrick Graham system that takes a while. They're still trying to mold the roster into what they want as opposed to what the last regime wanted. You're right. There is a win now type of mentality. I think it drives a lot of franchises down. And although this shouldn't be a long process because the team was already good, it is still a process. And not that this season's like a wash or you forget about it, but it's kind of, in a lot of ways, should be treated as one giant preseason as well as we start looking towards years 2 and 3 under the Nick Ziegler reign.
Well, yeah, because you're looking at not only what you find out about these players this year and what they can do, but also what they can absorb and what pieces you can use to make your team better by staying on the team or by not staying on the team, either by trade or cutting or whatever. It looks like they're going to be pretty young in the offensive line, and they're going to be pretty young in the defense. They're going to, grab some players here and there where they can. I don't see them do anything too crazy offensively. I think they have their offense pretty much set as far as skill players go. the offensive line is something that needs to get taken a look at. If they can get something high, high draft pick, or even those guys. Even look at Evan Neal. Evan Neal struggled. The tackle from like the blue chip prospect. He's going to be the number 1 pick for I don't know how long out of Alabama. He goes to the Giants and he struggled for the first 2/3 of the year. Those guys aren't even locks. But it is a process. It takes time. It takes time because you have different philosophies. You're looking for different things out of different players. You're looking for different positions to do different things, and you allocate different resources to different positions depending on what you're looking for. So when it's more so the GM change than the coaching change that does that. And everyone has to be in line. If they seem to be in line on what they're looking for and what they're coaching, I think that's what was a little bit kind of screwy with the Gruden Mayock thing, is they got pieces that didn't fit quite right. But I mean, we just got to kind of like let it play out and try to win as many as you can while you're getting there.
So that's it for us. We will be back. You're good to do the post show Christmas Eve right after the game. I know it is Christmas Eve and family and all that. You still down to do live right after? If we push it back, we're pushing it into Christmas.
Yeah, I might be able to. I don't know what time I'm going to my aunt's.
I'll be home in time. I'll probably watch the first half of the game at the in-laws, second half home. I'll be down to do it, so keep me posted. One of us or both of us will be doing a live show Christmas Eve. So bring your ugly Christmas sweater. It's going to be done. And also next week, we will have our Gruden Mayock every single draft pick and important signing.
Guys, I will tell you something right now.
I want to say it's a labor of love, but it's not.
I did the draft portion. So just a little sneak peek. I got our pick and then like notable players that were left before our next pick. Pretty fucking ugly. Pretty ugly.
So if you enjoy that type of torture, come to the right show. Thank you again, everybody, for the 100th time. I will say another 100 times for getting us to 5,000 subscribers.
Appreciate it, guys.
I remember when we got to 100, what a big deal it was. Or when we got to 1,000, how stoked we were. When we get to 100,000, I'm going to feel just as good as I do right now. Every single step feels great.
Guys, here's the deal. We don't fucking make money off of this shit. Every cent that we make off of this show goes right back into the show. So fucking bandwidth and mixers and fucking equipment and lights and fucking mics and all this shit and fucking bouncing dildos for fucking RJ so he can keep his fucking mouth straight.
You gotta sit on something.
You gotta sit on something. Like building a fucking studio, like all that shit, like it comes. So it's not like we're like, we're fucking filthy rich. I'm gonna quit my fucking job. Like, no, we're going to keep our jobs. But we're also gonna keep making content for you guys.
Yeah,
I mean, tell your friends, tell your haters.
Toto could be a millionaire. He's still gonna be giving hand jobs out under the bridge. Like the guy's never gonna change.
Look, you got a gift. You gotta share it with the world.
The old reverse Western style hand grip. Man knows
if you gotta ask what it is, you can't afford it.
What movie is that from? Leave it down in the comments. And until then, knock on wood if you're with me. Congratulations for making it all the way to the end of our video. If you want Darren Waller to catch 20 touchdown passes next season and for Maxx Crosby to have 30 sacks, go ahead and subscribe and click the next video.